everyone, and welcome to the final episode of this series of Relegation Rescue at Portimonense with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we've got one game left to play of the entire season. We took over Portimonense on Christmas Day. This is the final day of the season. We played Tondela in the top tier of Portuguese football. We have succeeded in keeping them up. Can we get a Europa League spot today? Let's find out. So to answer the question, can we get a Europa League spot this season? The answer is very simply, no, we can't. Unfortunately, we didn't quite do enough. If we go to the league table, you can see that we sit in 7th. Team above us are 5 points clear of us, which means that we can't do it with one game left to play. Today, we played Tondela, who are in 13th. So that's a good team to be playing in this run-in. We've had a fairly easy run-in, I would suggest, mostly, which has been very helpful to keep us as high as we can. For today's particular episode, we're not going to do the bells and whistles. We're not going to go into the chapter titles and other bits and pieces. We're just going to play one last game, celebrate the fact that we kept Portimonense up. Yes, it was slightly easier in terms of when we took over, the team hadn't played as many games as normal on Christmas Day because of the late start to the season. So it gave us more games to play. So that was slightly easier. But even so, they were still bottom at the table at Christmas, and we've managed to get them right the way up to 7th. We could potentially finish anywhere between 7th and 9th today, depending on a couple of results. So hopefully we can do well and provide another win, which will provide us another 3 points and keep us in this 7th position, and I will be ecstatic by that. So no bells and whistles, as I say. Let's go into the fixtures and just show you that one last game that we played between the two episodes, and we got another 3-1 win. 3 different goal scorers, looked really good doing it, which is fantastic. If we look at what we've got available today, the only person out is Anzai, who is our left fullback normally, but Candy comes in and does very, very well for us, so that's no major problem. Other than that, everybody else is pretty much fit, which is fantastic considering all season long we've had issues with the likes of Fernandez. To finally get everybody fit is fantastic for this last game of the season. So it meant that I could choose my strongest 11, and Fernandez doesn't quite make it into that, having only just come back from his 5-month layoff through injury. So the last team that we're going to put out for Portimonense is going to be Ferreira in goal, Mufi at right back, Candy at left back, Maurizio and William Roca in central defence, with Sarr, Rashid and Denner in central midfield, Job on the right, Macias on the left, and Vitinho up top, and 9 of them make it onto the bench, as is always the case in this particular season of the Portuguese top flight. So let's get into this final game of the series and see what happens. So I've asked them to pick up from where they left off last game, which is kind of what you'd expect me to say, really, because we won 3-1 and looked good doing it. Here is a 4-3-3 from Tondela. So it's going to be a crowded central midfield area. Hopefully our asymmetric style will be able to find routes round them and through them, and we'll get our chances today. There's a few things I need to tell you about just whilst we're watching this game, because this particular match is kind of a dead rubber, really. We've kind of finished the challenge. We can sit and just enjoy the experience. So the things I want to talk to you about are what's coming up next. It looks like the lower league management database is going to be ready over the weekend sometime. So we'll be starting our journey in our new series called From Hope to Glory with Truro City on Monday. If for any reason that doesn't happen over the weekend, then there are a couple of other things that I can put in its place, but look out for Truro City potentially on Monday. So that's good, as it looks like Tondela get the first chance, and they do, and we eventually kind of scramble it clear, and Job boots it wide out onto that far touchline. So yeah, That's not been a brilliant start, has it? And again, they get a chance from a corner kick comes in and the header goes over. So Truro City potentially starts on Monday. And that's going to be daily, 5 days a week through till Christmas, New Year. After the New Year, we're going to put a second series in there and take Truro City down to 3 days a week. So just to give a bit of variety. But I thought for a month, it's worth putting it in there as a sole focus just to get going with the series and really moving forward. So that's really, really cool. So that's coming up. Over the weekend, I get to record the draft for the second season of the Creators Championship. So look out for that in the coming couple of weeks. It's going to be really, really good fun. And I'm going to try as hard as I can to defend my title. But it's going to be very difficult with the competitors that we have this time round. They're going to prove very tricky, I'm sure. So watch out for that. That's coming up. So I'm excited by that. In terms of this particular series, the Relegation Rescue, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be leaving this save as it is, and next time that we do a Relegation Rescue, we're going to come back into this save and we're going to resign from Portimonense and then move it on to the following Christmas Day, so the middle of season 2 in terms of game terms. So we're not repeating the same process with the same free players and all that kind of stuff that we did at the beginning of this one. So we will be doing another Relegation Rescue. So if you've got another country's division that you'd like us to go to, let me know in the comments below and we'll see what we can do about that. But that will be sometime in 2021. We'll come back and do another Relegation Rescue. So I think those are mostly the things that I wanted to tell you about, but I really appreciate your support on the series. If you've stuck with it all the way through, thank you for doing that. That's really amazing to me that people want to watch my content. So I hope you'll continue to enjoy what we've got coming up next, which I'm really excited by. I think a long-term series with Truro is going to be really challenging, and it's going to take us a while to get from tier 7 in England, potentially right the way up to the Champions League. We'll see whether we can manage it or not. It's a kind of a different type of series for me to stay with one club all the way through that. So I'm kind of a bit nervy as whether I can achieve that or not, but we'll give it a good go. Again, it's Tondela that get through on the goalkeeper, and this time they should have scored, didn't they? They chipped it over the goalkeeper, but they got it slightly wrong and it went wide of the post. And we are struggling a little bit in this particular match, aren't we, really? It feels like the end of the season has come. They know what our fate is going to be, and they've kind of lost their momentum a little bit. So I might have to give them the rocket at half-time. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So let's go in there and let's pump the fists. And we'll say... the fans have been brilliant all season. Go out there and give them a performance to cheer for. Didn't quite get the response I was hoping for, to be honest. But once we go straight back into this game, we're going to go into the... not into that one. What am I doing? Into the shouts. You'd think I know where it was by now, but I don't. Anyway, demand more from that and just see if we can get the momentum back into this particular match. So I think that's kind of roughly what I wanted to tell you about. A bit about what we're doing next, about this particular series, and the fact that it will come back in an advanced point from this particular save, so we're not losing that. And the fact that the Creator Championship is coming back and I get to defend my title. So all brilliant. Whilst I've got you here and we're watching the game, if you really, really would love to support my channel in as many ways as possible as we go 1-0 down... And that's annoying, isn't it, really? But we're 1-0 down. If you want to support the channel, come onto the Discord and get involved in my community there, which will be brilliant. We'll have some conversations, hopefully, as we get bigger and more people involved in it and more people wanting to contribute. We'll get more conversations about what the content is and what we're going to be doing with the channel moving forward, all sorts of stuff. If you want to join me on Twitter, you can do that as well. I've got a Twitter account and upload my videos there and generally, as much as I can, put out some positivity when I can. So come and join me on Twitter. I've got a Patreon. Go and read the piece I wrote on Patreon about why I'm doing this and what my expectations for the channel are, etc. I think it's a kind of an interesting read, so go and check that one out. And I've also got a merchandise store with some sort of channel-based, logo-based merchandise. So go and check that out as well. And all of those links are in the description below, which is always the case on all my videos. So if you ever wanted to come back and join one of those things, then you'll find them on every video. I think that's kind of all I want to do in terms of self-plugging though. But today, as I say, we can chill out because we're 1-0 down. We're at 75 minutes. We are going to change a few players, but there's nothing else that we can achieve in this particular series. We just get a chance to enjoy the game, and it would have been a darn sight easier to do it had we been able to win it potentially. And it's not over yet. Time to figure out what we can do to change this, and we got some dead legs in there, it feels like. Maybe one game too far for some of these guys, so we're going to have to switch some of these around a little bit and just freshen it up a tad. So what we're going to do, we're going to take Vitinho out because he's apprehensive and not really getting much service. And then, just because he fought so hard to get back from his injury, we're going to bring Fernandes in for the last 15 minutes as well to play that attacking midfield role. And those are the changes that we're going to make. And once this changes again and all of the substitutions go through, I'm going to go into the team shouts again and really try and find a way to push them forward. So fire them up the entire side for the last 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes to see if we can rescue a draw, hopefully secure the 7th spot, but I would imagine that the other teams around us are doing possibly a bit better. But it was Hackman on this left-hand side who got a chance from the edge of the box and powered the ball at goal, but missed it by fractions, didn't he, in that far corner. And we do lose 1-0 on the very last day of the season. And to be honest, I can't really complain too much, can I? It was kind of one game too far. They knew that we were done. They knew what we'd achieved. And in the end, there you go. We lost a game at the end of the season, but we've performed magnificently well to get to where we did, because when we took over at Christmas, I thought we were going to really, really struggle. And we didn't. Look at this, 7th place. The teams around us didn't make the most of our slight slip up. 3 teams on 47 points, but we win it on goal difference, I would suggest, and that's fantastic. So we secured 7th place in this season. I'm absolutely delighted by it. I think we've performed well above expectation, really. And that kind of concludes the series, really. I told you there were going to be no major bells and whistles. We're not going to overanalyze the performance or anything. There's no need. All we simply do is celebrate that finally, even if it was a tad easier than normal, we managed to succeed in a relegation rescue. Having done 2 or 3 of these in FM20 and not succeeded in any of them, this is a step forward. We will be returning to this again, as I've said, so look out for another relegation rescue down the road in the cycle of FM21. But basically, for now, that's going to do it. We had Vitinho on 12 goals as our key goal scorer for the second half of the season. Maurizio, our central defender, had the highest average rating. Rashid was a star of our show, wasn't he? Supporting from midfield and assisting lots. We had a few players on Player of the Match awards. And ultimately, this team found its shape, found its style, and we gradually clawed ourselves up the table. So I'm suggesting to you at this point, in a lot of my saves, if things go wrong and we're doing some random formations and tactics, etc., this is what I will always come back to. A vertical tiki-taka in the asymmetric style, I think works really, really well and will always give us more possession of the ball and create enough chances to get a few goals, I would suggest. As long as we're not a relegation candidate properly in a division and really struggling, I think this is the way to go. If we're that, then sometimes maybe you've just got to play long a little bit and go to a target man possibly. But on most occasions, this is the style that I'll revert to if I can. What sort of style do you play anyway? What sort of formations and tactics do you potentially implement? Are you a 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress? A lot of people are, aren't they? So let me know about that sort of stuff in the comments, and what your series and your saves are at the moment. Tell me all about them in the comments below, and let me know how you're getting on. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. It was a bit of a chilled out episode, really. We'd achieved everything that we wanted to achieve. I'm really pleased with how this particular series has gone, and that is our time at Portimonense done. So thank you for joining me. I do hope you'll join me next week on Monday for potentially our new series with Truro City that is going to be long term, right the way through the cycle of FM21. So I hope you'll join me for that. If it's not that, it'll be some other stopgap episode for a little while, a series, should I say, just to tide us over to the point where the database is ready. But I hope it will be. But yeah, I hope you'll come and join me for it and enjoy that ride as well. So until then, though, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me on this particular episode. Helps me get seen by lots of other people and makes me know that you're connected to the content I'm putting out, which is great. Go and check out all of those links in the description below to Patreon and Twitter and Discord and merchandise store, and support the channel through some of those. Until next time, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.